This game we play, guys, is all up here. It's all up here. And the more that I'm realizing that, it's up here. Because quite frankly, I have speed. People on the list tell me all the time, I definitely have speed as my advantage. You know, I'm 28 years old. I'm in pretty decent shape. I have really good cardio. I got my legs underneath me. But I'm always going to get beat by the wise out. You know what I'm saying? Technique, form, strategy, calculate, and then manipulate. All right? So, something that people don't really think of as well is, okay, I'm going to teach you a real cool way. All right? You throw this shot here, right? So now, let's say we're in our C range. So you get just the tip out, right? You throw in that shot. Okay? An amazing way to recoil, to recover, is to get underneath your weapon. Now I just changed ranges. I'm basically in my A range now. It's going to allow me for a real good shot to the face, something legs, the head. I'm totally changing range at a drastic pace. I was here, throw that shot, get underneath my own weapon. There's that arm already cocked. Essentially, did my arm move from its positioning? No. I threw my shot. And I went underneath my own swing. That's a recovery. See it? That's a recovery. That's a recovery. Another thing I should have said while speaking about shot selection and targeting, and I just did it there, is know the difference between a lethal and a non-lethal shot. It's okay to be in your C range and throw that tip out because you know he's going to raise that shield up. So you're anticipating, once again, we're doing that whole anticipation. We are choosing a target before it's there. You're taking your shot and getting into range and then preparing for him to lift for that headshot. Now that shot might not have been the most powerful of shots, but it doesn't have to be. If it's just a targeting shot, if it's just a shot to lure him into raising that shield back up so you can get back into your positioning, so you can strike down at his leg, okay? It's okay. Lethal and non-lethal shots. Targeting. Range. Okay? Recovery. Another thing we're going to talk about is your defensive range. Once again, the reason why I don't truly focus insane amounts of time on defense is because we're all animals, we're all creatures. We all have that fight or flight sense in our minds. And for the majority of us, 80% of the time, it's going to be flight. We're going to choose the defense as opposed to the offense. Okay? So just be knowledgeable of your range. Once again, my opponent's 6'4", I'm 5'7". My D range is no longer acceptable. I might have to step further out, get out of range. I need to transfigure my D range into his D range. It's the only way this range game works. Be knowledgeable of it. Okay? And something else, I'm going to say this, and this is what I learned as to being a shorter guy in the SCA, especially on one-on-ones. You short guys who love to get into the A range of guys that are 6'4", and then you're wondering how and or why you're taking shots to your back repeatedly. Guys, you might as well be on your damn knees. Okay? If my guy's 6'4", 6'5", I'm not saying I can't get into an A range with him, but I'm definitely not going to live there. I might do it in passing. I might be in my C range, throw a shot at his head, recover, hit the legs, and then fade out. But I'm not going to live in that range. All he needs to do, he's on top of me. He's here. He's here. I'm here. All he needs to do is come down on me, scorpion wrap the hell out of my back. I have a friend who was curious of this, a household brother. He's 5'4". He's wondering why he takes a lot of hits to his spine. It's the number one reason, because he's definitely not afraid to fight. It's just a matter of range. He's spending too much time in the A range on guys who have too much of a reach advantage over him. Play the game to your point. Play the game to your advantage. Make all of these things work for you. Once you get it to work to your advantage, you won the game. You won the game. It's just a matter of laying the stick down. Okay? Blow recognition. Blow recognition is a big one, okay? Let's say you're fighting a guy who's using, I'm going to use this. Alright, who's using a great sword. I know this is drastically smaller than a great sword, but a great sword. Okay? And he's coming at you. Okay? And you know when he twists his hips in this fashion, and he's bringing it here, he's typically going for the headshot, okay? He's there. Recognize these movements. Recognize your opponent's movements. Watch people when they fight, even when you're not on the list. Ivan of Silverkeep. I'll never forget this. Him and Master Wolfgar of Silverkeep and Master Ruslan of Silverkeep all told me this during my very, very first event. Watch your adversary, even when you're not on the field. That's where half the fighters in the SCA mess up. They're not on the field, they're not on the list, they're not in the tournament at the moment. Their mind is elsewhere. Watch your adversary, watch the way he moves. He might lean a certain way when he's preparing for a headshot. He might bring his arms up when he's preparing for an offside shot. Okay? He might dip his body a little lower. Maybe he changes his stance before he does a face thrust. Be mindful of this. Focus on blow recognition. Everybody has quirks. And if you watch enough people fight, you notice that a lot of them meld into one another, depending on style, technique, etc. Okay? And just as important as offensive selection is defensive selection. Guys, think about it. What are you going to do when you're in your stance? You're in your stance. Here comes that headshot. Am I going to raise the shield? Am I going to duck into the shield? Bring the shield over? Get underneath the attack? Am I going to attempt to parry with my weapon? Am I going to move out of the way? Avoid defense is just as effective. Naturally, depending if you're on a line engagement or not. And there's whole different factors that come into play as far as void defense comes into play. But these are all factors you need to keep into mind. So guys, I'm telling you, review this stuff. Keep it fresh in your mind. Keep it in the back of your head. Check it out. Watch videos. I'm telling you, your fighting is going to improve dramatically. Alright? If you guys have any questions, please feel free to message me. I know a lot of times I'm not the clearest speaker. I know I speak fast sometimes. I apologize. I'm from New York. But, yeah. Please comment, leave suggestions as to what you want to see next. Yeah. Once again, this is Hassan of the Eastern Fighter saying thank you for watching.